Are you ready to ensure your safety and comfort during a crisis? Today we'll be discussing an important topic: how to prepare for long-term bugging during a crisis. Whether it's a natural disaster, an unexpected emergency, or any other critical situation, knowing how to stay safe, supplied, and prepared while staying at home is a crucial skill. We'll cover essential tips on stocking up supplies, securing your home, managing resources effectively, and keeping your family safe and comfortable for the long haul. If you're looking to be better prepared for any situation, make sure you stay tuned. You won't want to miss this. And don't forget to like this video and hit the subscribe button to stay updated with more survival tips, guides, and practical advice to help you plan ahead and keep peace of mind in uncertain times. Now, let's get started. 1. Understanding the reality of long-term bugging in. Long-term bugging in is not a weekend inconvenience. It's a grueling test of self-reliance. Forget the notion that you can sit comfortably on your couch and ride out the storm with a couple of cases of water and some canned goods. Bugging in means turning your home into a fully functional survival hub for weeks, months, or even longer. It's not a temporary inconvenience, it's a full-scale way of life, and the reality is not glamorous. Your home becomes everything: your fortress, your pantry, your water source, and potentially your place of defense. You'll need to think of every necessity beforehand because leaving your house mid-crisis might not be an option. That means more than just stocking food and water. You know how to properly store food to avoid spoiling? Are you prepared to manage waste if trash pickup stops? What's your backup plan if municipal water or power cuts out indefinitely? These aren't if scenarios, they're when scenarios during a long-term crisis. Preparation requires looking beyond the short term and planning for self-sufficiency. Can you secure your home from intruders? Do you have medical supplies to handle illnesses or injuries? Can you cook without power or running water? Comfort will not exist. Survival becomes a daily grind. Anticipating this level of difficulty might not be pleasant to think about, but denial doesn't save lives. Planning does. The truth is, bugging in isn't easy and it isn't fun. It's work, hard, uncomfortable, and unrelenting. But facing this truth head-on and preparing for it can mean the difference between enduring a crisis and succumbing to it. Survival hinges on realism and readiness. Anything less is a gamble you can't afford to take. 2. Sanitation and waste management. When bugging in long-term during a crisis, sanitation and waste management must be at the top of your priority list. If you fail to address them properly, you're opening the door to illness, contamination, and a rapid decline in your living conditions. Think this through now, not later, when it's too late. Toilets and human waste. First things first, how are you going to handle human waste? Your home toilet may not work during a crisis if water services are interrupted or your septic system is compromised. Don't assume you'll have the luxury of flushing. For short-term fixes, you can use portable camping toilets or buckets with tightly sealed lids. Line them with heavy-duty trash bags and layer in absorbents like sawdust, cat litter, or shredded newspapers to control odor and make disposal easier. When the bag is full, tie it securely and store it in a designated waste area until you can bury or dispose of it. If you have access to a backyard and need a more sustainable solution, dig a trench. Make sure it's at least 200 feet away from your water supply and any food preparation areas. Keep the trench properly covered after each use to prevent flies and rodents. These pests spread disease quickly. Use lime or ash to neutralize odors and bacteria. Hygiene essentials. During extended crises, maintaining basic hygiene is just as critical as eating and drinking. Stockpile enough toilet paper, wet wipes, and hand soap to last several months, more if possible. Hand hygiene isn't optional when you're dealing with waste in close quarters. What about cleaning and sterilizing? Bleach is indispensable. Get enough to sanitize surfaces, clean waste containers, and purify water if necessary. Disposable gloves are another must-have to safely handle waste and cleaning chemicals without directly exposing yourself. Feminine hygiene products like sanitary pads or tampons should also be included in your stockpile. If you want a reusable option, consider menstrual cups, but prepare to clean and sanitize them thoroughly. For households with babies or young children, diapers are essential, as is a system to keep their waste contained and separate from the household trash. Pets are often overlooked in prepping plans, but they generate waste too. Have a plan for storing and disposing of pet waste safely to protect everyone in your household. Waste disposal and long-term strategies. Trash piles up fast, and in a crisis, the garbage truck isn't coming. Piling up trash randomly around your property is a health hazard. Stop thinking of trash as something you can just ignore. Sort biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste right from the start. Food scraps, paper, and natural materials can be composted in a pit far from your home. But don't treat this as a dumping station for all. Burn non-toxic waste like cardboard and paper in a controlled outdoor fire pit. However, avoid burning plastics or synthetic materials. They release toxic fumes that are harmful to everyone in the area. If burning isn't an option, designate a secure area for storing trash. Use heavy-duty trash bags to seal items and block odor until you can find a better disposal method. Health risks of poor sanitation. Neglecting sanitation during a crisis is a quick path to becoming sick. Diseases like cholera, dysentery, and hepatitis A thrive in unsanitary environments. Rodents, insects, and flies will be attracted to accumulated waste and excrement, carrying bacteria and spreading it around your home. Once disease spreads, it's incredibly hard to control in confined spaces. Remember, a group of sick people is weak and vulnerable. Cleaning, sterilizing, and proper waste disposal is about survival. Forget comfort. Focus on avoiding the mistakes that could destroy your prepping plans. 3. Water storage, filtration, and reuse. Water is non-negotiable in any long-term crisis. You either have it or you don't, and you can't afford to run out. Securing an adequate water supply means focusing on 3 key aspects: storage, filtration, and reuse. If you can lock these down, you drastically improve your chances of sustaining yourself comfortably during a crisis. Water storage. First, you need a lot of water, more than you think. Aim for at least 1 gallon per person per day, but honestly, the more the better. This isn't just for drinking. You'll be cooking, cleaning, washing, and flushing toilets too. Short-term emergencies might allow for minimal water usage, but long-term scenarios demand a comprehensive reserve. Start storing now. Use food-grade barrels for bulk storage. The larger ones, like 55-gallon drums, are ideal for long-term needs. Pair them with smaller, portable jugs to cover flexibility. Some prefer stackable water bricks for space efficiency. Rotate stored water every 6 months, even if treated. Stagnant water can develop contaminants over time, even in sealed containers. Location matters. Keep your water storage in cool, dark areas like basements or closets to prevent algae or mold growth. Label every container and stick to a system for monitoring capacity. Forget aesthetics. Stack containers if you need to. Water is your lifeline, so make space for it. Filtration. Stored water isn't immune to contamination, so you must have a reliable filtration plan. Stock up on water purification tablets. They're compact, cheap, and effective, but don't rely on them alone. Gravity water filters, like the Berkey or similar systems, are a must. They can process large amounts of water and remove bacteria, protozoa, and other nasties quickly. For portability, pack personal water filters like Life Straw for each person in your group. If you live in an area where harvesting rainwater is allowed, set up a collection system immediately. It's practically free water, but only if you use it wisely. Rain can carry pollutants, so every drop you collect needs filtration before it's safe to drink. Invest in pre-filters to capture debris before the water makes its way into your barrels or cistern. Rainwater collection systems should have overflow controls to prevent waste. Boiling works in a pinch, but it's not a convenient go-to solution for everyday use in a long-term crisis. Stock replacement filters in bulk. Filters clog over time, and having spares ensures your water source doesn't suddenly vanish. Water reuse. Water reuse is the step that will separate the serious preparers from the casual ones. Gray water, used water from sinks, showers, and other non-toilet drains, isn't drinkable, but it's still useful. Set up a gray water system to redirect this water to tasks like flushing toilets or watering plants. Do your research. Gray water laws differ by region, so know what's permitted in your area ahead of time. Get into the mindset of reusing every drop. Don't dump leftover pasta water or wash water without repurposing it. Use dishwater to soak greasy pots or pre-clean floors. If your hand-washing water isn't filthy, save it for toilet flushing. It may sound extreme now, but in the middle of a crisis, every little bit of conservation will matter. Rainwater can also serve multiple purposes. If you've collected more than you need for drinking, use it for bathing, cleaning, or even emergency laundry. Just be strategic. Prioritize safety when it comes to anything that could pose health risks if reused improperly. No excuses. Water isn't optional, it's survival. Don't underestimate how much you'll need, and don't delay your preparations under the assumption that it won't happen to me. Store enough for everyone in your household, and then store some more. Have a redundant filtration system and multiple plans for sourcing and repurposing water. Treat any wasted water like wasted life. It's that critical. Prepare now or pay for it later. 4. Communication and intel gathering. During a long-term bug-in situation, effective communication and gathering intelligence are critical for survival. To make informed decisions and stay ahead, you need to prioritize how you connect with others and how you stay updated on what's happening beyond your immediate environment. Without proper comms and intel, you're operating blind in a potentially dangerous situation. Stay connected locally. First and foremost, establish a system to maintain communication with your household or group. Two-way radios are your best bet. They require no internet, and their battery life can last for an extended period. Make sure everyone in your group knows how to use them effectively and has designated channels for operations. Keep batteries charged. Solar chargers are essential backups for this. For neighborhood comms, form a local network of trusted individuals who can share updates. These can be through written notes, prearranged hand signals, or even verbal communication at scheduled times in safe, private locations. Vet your contacts carefully. The last thing your group needs is a breach in operational security due to loose lips or infiltration. Ham radios for long-distance communication. If you need to reach across greater distances to gather intel, ham radios are your best tool. Keep in mind, broadcasting requires proper licensing, but even if you choose to operate under the radar, you should at least learn how to listen in. Ham radios allow you to monitor ongoing developments beyond your immediate region and can provide critical updates on weather, disasters, or any larger-scale threats. Practice using these radios before the crisis. Know the channels, how to adjust frequencies, and which antennas to use for better reach. Emergency scanners for real-time updates. Emergency scanners are highly useful for staying aware of local developments in real time. These devices allow you to monitor police, fire department, and EMS communications, which are invaluable for identifying risks or hotspots near your location. Becoming familiar with scanner codes and jargon beforehand will help you interpret the information quickly. Don't waste time as a crisis unfolds trying to figure out what a 1013 means. Prepare now. Intelligence gathering in a crisis. Intel gathering during a crisis should be deliberate and cautious. Be selective about your sources of information, as false or outdated info can put your safety at risk. Verify everything before acting on it. Develop a habit of double-checking facts, especially if a decision based on that information could mean the difference between safety and harm. Keep notes of everything you hear or gather. Organize it so you can track trends or critical updates over time. This helps you see the bigger picture rather than reacting to isolated events. Just make sure this information isn't left lying around for prying eyes to see. Store it securely. Operational security, OPSEC. Above all, practice OPSEC when it comes to communication and intelligence. Share only what is necessary and only with trusted individuals. Loose talk, even within your group, can lead to dangerous leaks of info that bad actors can exploit. Assume every message you send or piece of information you share could fall into the wrong hands and plan accordingly. For example, if you're sharing locations of food or supply stores, do it in person and only to the people who need to know. Give out minimal specifics and avoid broadcasting anything important over the airwaves, as anyone with a receiver can listen in. Stay discreet and establish codes for specific terms. Basic encryption goes a long way in maintaining security. Why it matters. Proper communication and intel gathering directly influence your ability to stay safe, make timely decisions, and adapt to changes. It keeps you informed about immediate threats, helps anticipate problems, and ensures you're not blindsided by events outside your control. Fail to stay informed, and you're vulnerable. It's as simple as that. Information is just as vital as food and water in a long-term bug-in, so treat it with that level of importance. 5. Energy and lighting. When bugging in during a crisis, handling energy and lighting effectively is critical for survival and comfort. Resources will be limited or entirely cut off, so having a robust plan in place can make all the difference. This isn't about luxury, it's about functionality and efficiency. Every watt counts, and wasting energy is not an option. Lighting. Electricity might not be a given during long-term crises, so forget about flipping a switch. Instead, focus on practical, efficient, and sustainable sources of light. Rechargeable LED lanterns are the gold standard. They consume minimal energy, last a long time, and can easily be recharged with solar power or manual crank devices. Candles are another backup, but safety is non-negotiable. Fires are a crisis you don't need on top of everything else, so have fireproof surfaces ready. Lantern wicks or candle setups should always be out of reach of children or pets, Headlamps are also a great option, especially if you need hands-free light for tasks like cooking or repairs. Power. Electric grids will most likely fail in long-term emergencies, so it's all about localized power generation. Solar chargers are not just an option, they're a must-have for keeping smaller devices such as phones or radios operational. Even a basic solar panel can give you enough juice to stay connected or charge batteries. Hand-crank radios and flashlights are equally essential, giving you both light and a means of receiving critical updates. These tools operate without depending on the sun or external power sources, making them reliable backups when weather conditions don't allow for solar charging. When it comes to powering anything else, think small and low-tech. Forget about running appliances or extensive setups. It's not realistic. Instead, focus on devices that consume minimal power and can be recharged without reliance on traditional outlets. If you do have access to a generator, ration its use carefully. Fuel or power sources won't last forever. Temperature management. Maintaining an appropriate indoor temperature is about strategy, not electricity. Start by leveraging thermal mass heating. Gather heavy materials like bricks, concrete, or water containers, which can absorb heat during the day and release it at night. During colder months, concentrate heat in a single room to conserve energy. For ventilation in warmer weather, forget about air conditioning. Use passive cooling solutions like cross-ventilation, shading windows with heavy curtains or reflective materials, and prioritizing space with natural airflow. Layering becomes a survival skill as well. Invest in proper clothing, thermal layers for cold weather and light, breathable fabrics for hot weather to maximize personal temperature management. It doesn't matter how well stocked your bunker is if you're not managing body temperature effectively. Energy conservation. Stretch every bit of available energy. Switch off devices immediately after use, and don't leave anything plugged in needlessly. Phantom power drains batteries quickly. If you're working with a limited supply, monitor usage obsessively. Aim for essential use only. Overcharging batteries doesn't just waste energy, it also shortens battery lifespan. Treat the power stored in devices as an irreplaceable resource, not something to whimsically burn through. Keep a written schedule of energy use if necessary, plan priorities for each day, and stick to it. Tasks like lighting and charging can't be taken for granted, so plan around daylight hours and charge everything when solar availability is at its peak. 6. Food storage and cooking. Food is a critical component of long-term preparation for bugging in during a crisis. Without it, survival becomes impossible. Proper food storage and cooking methods will ensure your household is both fed and secure, no matter the situation. What to store? Focus on non-perishable food items that provide maximum nutrition and have a long shelf life. Staples like rice, beans, oats, pasta, canned meats, dehydrated meals, honey, flour, and spices should form the foundation of your food supplies. These items are easy to store, versatile in meals, and provide the essential nutrients needed for survival. Don't forget condiments, cooking oils, and powdered drink mixes, as they can improve morale and diversify your diet. Ultimately, your goal is to cover all the macronutrients, carbohydrates, proteins, and fats to sustain energy and health. How much to store? The absolute minimum is a 3-month supply of food for everyone in your household. This is manageable for most families and achievable with proper planning. However, in a prolonged crisis, this may not cut it. Gradually build up to a year's worth of food if possible. Calculate the number of calories you'll need daily per person and ensure your storage reflects these needs. Don't underestimate how much food people will consume under the stress of survival. Over-preparation is always better than running out. Proper storage techniques. Improperly stored food is wasted food. Invest in airtight containers, mylar bags, and oxygen absorbers to prolong shelf life. Keep your food storage in a cool, dark, and dry place as heat and moisture accelerate spoilage. Organization is key. Label everything with expiration dates and rotate regularly. The first in, first out approach ensures that nothing goes to waste. Use shelves or stackable bins to maximize space efficiency, especially if you live in a smaller home or apartment. Cooking without power. When the power goes out, your electric stove and microwave won't help you. Learn alternative cooking methods now, not when disaster strikes. Rocket stoves and propane burners are excellent for quick, efficient cooking, while solar ovens offer a longer but fuel-free solution. Wood stoves are versatile. They can heat your home while doubling as a cooking appliance, but with wood, remember to store enough fuel to last as long as you plan to bug in. Practice these methods ahead of time, so you're familiar with how to use them. Getting caught in an emergency is not the time to figure out how to light a propane burner or position your solar oven for maximum efficiency. Water and cooking. Don't forget that cooking often requires water. Store enough potable water to cover both drinking and cooking needs. This is especially important for items like rice, pasta, and beans, which demand significant water volumes. Have a backup method to purify water, such as portable filtration systems or boiling over your alternative cooking setup. Contaminated water will ruin your food and may harm your household's health, so always prioritize cleanliness. Security. While cooking. Cooking can attract unwanted attention. The smell of food in a crisis will make you a target if others are desperate. Use discretion when cooking. Avoid venting cooking odors outside. If possible, cook earlier in the day to reduce visibility and avoid lighting fires at night, as they will make you an obvious target. Building a small, screened outdoor cooking area can help maintain privacy. Keep your supplies quiet. Never broadcast your food stores to neighbors or on social media. The fewer people who know what you have, the better. Desperation leads to irrational behavior, and in a crisis, even friends and acquaintances might try to take what's yours. Stay low profile and protect your supplies at all costs. Food isn't just sustenance in an emergency. It's survival currency. By properly storing food, mastering alternative cooking methods, and maintaining operational security, you'll be fully prepared to sustain your household during a long-term bug-in. Remember, preparation is useless if you don't practice it now. Test your strategies, refine your plans, and confidently face whatever comes your way. 7. Security and defense. When it comes to long-term bugging during a crisis, security and defense aren't optional. They're essential for survival. To ensure you and your loved ones stay safe, you need to think strategically and put a solid plan in place. Half-hearted efforts won't cut it. Survival requires vigilance, preparation, and the determination to protect what's yours. Below are the critical pillars of securing your home and your safety during an extended crisis. Silent security. A quiet, inconspicuous security system is one of your best tools to avoid drawing unwanted attention. Invest in solar-powered or battery-operated alarms, motion sensor lights, and surveillance cameras. These systems are effective even when the power grid is down, giving you reliable tools to monitor your property. The key here is to remain discreet. Don't install anything flashy or loud that could alert people to the fact that your home is protected. A silent alarm or camera allows you to see potential threats without letting intruders know they've been spotted. Stay ahead of the problem instead of reacting to it. Community watch. Survival isn't always a solo effort. Having a small, trusted group or network of allies in your neighborhood can significantly bolster your security. Work with people you trust to keep an eye on each other's properties and communicate about potential threats. That said, discretion is crucial. Don't broadcast your preparedness to every neighbor or public group. The more people who know about your stockpile or security measures, the higher the risk someone may try to take advantage of you in desperation. Choose allies wisely, and always assume that trust can be broken under pressure. Layered defense. Your home should be a fortress, and that starts with layered defenses. Reinforce entry points like doors and windows with heavy-duty locks, security bars, or even plywood if materials are limited. Reinforce exterior doors with metal plates or bolts, and consider adding secondary locks or barricades that can be used in emergencies. Beyond the main entry points, plan for an extra layer of protection internally. This might include creating one or more fallback rooms that are difficult to breach and have emergency supplies. Layered defenses buy you time. It's harder for an intruder to break into a well-fortified house, giving you the chance to act. Another essential aspect of layered defense is planning your escape routes. If staying in your home becomes impossible, you'll need a clear and safe way out. Scout multiple exit options, know your surrounding area, and have a plan for where you'll go next. Self-defense. Sometimes, the harsh reality is that you may have to defend yourself. When it comes to self-defense, the first choice should always be avoidance. Avoid conflict by maintaining a low profile and securing your home effectively. However, if push comes to shove, be prepared to act. Keep self-defense tools on hand, whether it's firearms, non-lethal options like pepper spray, or other means that you are trained and comfortable using. Regularly practice with whatever tools you choose, and make sure every capable member of your household is familiar with their use. Remember, self-defense isn't just about weapons, it's about mindset and awareness. Stay alert to your surroundings, avoid complacency, and be ready to protect yourself and your family at a moment's notice. Fear and uncertainty are natural, but don't let them paralyze you. The bigger picture. Security doesn't just depend on the tools and tactics you use. It's a mindset. Think 3 steps ahead. Understand that, in a crisis, people will do desperate things. Hungry, scared individuals may try to break into your home or harm your family to get what they need. While you should have compassion, you also need to draw a hard line to safeguard your resources. Your priority is your household survival. Stay adaptable. Security needs to evolve as the situation does. Observe what's happening in your community and watch out for new threats or changes in behavior as the crisis deepens. The longer the chaos lasts, the more desperate people will become, so revisit your defenses regularly and upgrade them as needed. The bottom line is this: survival demands preparation, vigilance, and action. Hope isn't a strategy. Take your security seriously, lock down your defenses, and don't hesitate to protect what's yours. A well-prepared home is a safe home, and safety is the foundation of survival. 8. Mental health and routine. When preparing for long-term bugging and during a crisis, mental health is just as critical as physical survival. Neglecting this aspect can lead to panic, poor decision-making, and even breakdowns, all of which will put you and your household at risk. The importance of daily structure. A clear daily structure is essential to maintain a sense of normalcy. Without routine, time can blur and motivation will plummet. Create a schedule that incorporates essential activities such as cooking, cleaning, personal hygiene, and any form of learning or skill building. These tasks provide purpose and make each day feel productive. Even in the absence of external obligations, stick to your schedule. Discipline keeps you grounded, and following a routine reassures your mind that life is still moving forward, no matter how chaotic the world outside may be. Morale-boosting tools. Isolation and monotony can take a toll on anyone, so it's critical to have resources that lift morale. Stock up on items such as books, puzzles, board games, and craft supplies. Faith-based materials or mindfulness tools can also be incredibly comforting for those who rely on them. These diversions aren't a waste of space. They are your lifeline to emotional wellness. Rotate through activities to keep things fresh and avoid falling into a mental rut. Morale isn't optional. It's a survival tactic. Prepare for emotional challenges. The emotional toll of long-term isolation will push your limits. Expect tension, boredom, and fear to creep in. Planning ahead can reduce their impact. Teach yourself and others in your household how to handle negative emotions constructively. Mentally rehearse staying calm and practical in extreme situations. If arguments or conflicts arise, approach them with rational problem-solving instead of succumbing to anger. Emotional discipline is a learned skill, but it can mean the difference between a functional environment and self-destruction. Small goals keep you going. Long-term crises are overwhelming if you only focus on the big picture. Instead, break down your time into manageable chunks. Set small, realistic goals for each day, whether it's reorganizing a storage area, trying a new recipe, or completing a craft project. Celebrate victories, no matter how minor they may seem. Accomplishments, no matter how small, keep spirits up and give you something to look forward to. Focus on control. A significant part of mental health management during a crisis is controlling what you can and letting go of what you can't. Focusing on the uncontrollable, like news updates or outside events, will only frustrate you. Instead, hone in on your bubble of influence. Perfect your routine, fortify your supplies, and take practical steps to secure your immediate environment. Every small success reinforces your emotional stability. Keep your mind active. Idle minds invite stress, fear, and hopelessness. Staying mentally stimulated is vital. Use the time to learn a new skill via books or pre-saved resources. Brush up on practical knowledge like first aid, food preservation, or self-defense. Creative pursuits such as painting, writing, or music can also keep minds sharp while providing an emotional outlet. The more engaged your mind is, the less room there is for worry. Final thoughts. Maintaining your mental health and sticking to a routine shouldn't be seen as luxuries. It's survival. Neglecting these aspects will quickly spiral into chaos. Take both seriously and prepare as thoroughly as you would for food, water, or shelter. Stay disciplined, adaptable, and proactive to ensure you're not just physically surviving this crisis, but mentally thriving within it.